Church history with Canon Dr. Adebayo Omotoriogun, where you will learn, unlearn and relearn.
Can the cathedral cease to be a cathedral? Can the cathedral become just an archdeaconry seat for 25 years and then regain its original status? For St. Mark's Offa, the answer is yes. In 1974, St. Mark's Offa became the cathedral of the newly created Diocese of Kwara. Later, the diocesan seat moved to Ilorin, and St. Mark's continued as an Archdeaconry. In 1999, with the creation of Diocese of Offa, St. Mark's was restored to cathedral status. The Anglican presence in Offa dates back to the early 28th century, when the Church Missionary Society, popularly known as the CMS, established its mission in the town. Christianity gradually took root. The mission became involved in worship, evangelism, and education, and Offa became an important center of Christian activity. But the gospel did not remain in Offa. The Christian community also contributed to the spread of Christianity to neighboring communities. So, Offa was not merely a mission field, it became a mission center. And at the heart of this developing Christian community was St. Mark's Church. But the greatest transformation in its history was still ahead. As Anglicanism continued to grow in the region, plans were made for the creation of the Diocese of Kwara. But there was one major question: where should the bishop's seat be located? According to the local historical accounts of Christianity in Offa, discussions concerning this matter had continued for about 12 years. Then came the divining moment. On 1st February 1974, a conference of the Church of the Province of West Africa was held at Ado-Ekiti. The conference was presided over by Archbishop Moses N.O.C. Scott of Sierra Leone. The decision was made that the bishop's seat of the proposed Diocese of Kwara should be located in Offa. That decision changed the history of St. Mark's forever. On 1st November 1974, the Diocese of Kwara was formally established, and St. Mark's Church Offa became the cathedral and diocesan headquarters of the new Diocese of Kwara. The pioneer bishop was the Right Reverend Abbot Aruna, who had been consecrated at St. James Cathedral, Ibadan, on 27th October 1974, and formally enthroned at St. Mark's Cathedral on 1st November 1974. Think about the significance of that moment. A church that had begun as a mission center had become the seat of a bishop at the headquarters of an entire diocese. St. Mark's was now a cathedral, but its journey was far from over. As the Diocese of Kwara developed, the center of diocesan administration eventually shifted from Offa to Ilorin, the capital of Kwara State. The diocesan center became associated with St. Barnabas Church, Saboke, Ilorin, which became St. Barnabas Cathedral and the episcopal seat of the Diocese of Kwara. But here is something important. St. Mark's Cathedral did not physically move to Ilorin. The building remained in Offa. What moved was the bishop's seat and diocesan administration. Consequently, St. Mark's ceased to function as a cathedral of the Diocese of Kwara. Its ecclesiastical status had changed, but its ministry did not end. It continued as an important Anglican church an Archdeaconry seat in Offa. And this began a 25-year chapter in the history of St. Mark's. For those 25 years, St. Mark's continued to serve God and his people. The church continued its worship, evangelism, and Christian witness. This teaches us something important. A change of status does not mean the end of usefulness. The building was no longer the Cathedral of the Diocese of Kwara, but the work of God continued. Now we come to the dramatic turning point. After 25 years, a new diocese was created, the Diocese of Offa, and St. Mark's entered a completely new chapter. The church that had once been the Cathedral of the Diocese of Kwara now became the Cathedral of the Diocese of Offa. Think about that journey. 1974, St. Mark's becomes a cathedral. Later, the diocesan seat moves to Ilorin. For 25 years, St. Mark's serves as an Archdeaconry seat. 1999, St. Mark's becomes a cathedral again. Same church, same location, but a new diocese. Cathedral, Archdeaconry seat, cathedral again. What an extraordinary journey. So, the next time you see St. Mark's Cathedral Offa, remember, you are not simply looking at a church building. You are looking at a church that has lived through history. A church that became a cathedral. A church that became an Archdeaconry seat. And a church that became a cathedral again. That is St. Mark's Cathedral Offa. I am Reverend Canon Dr. Adebayo Omotori-Ogun, and this is Monday Church History. Until next Monday, remember, when we preserve the history of the church, we preserve the testimony of what God has done through generations of his people. God bless you, and God bless the church.